Following his traumatizing experience in the double dungeon, Jinwoo unexpectedly wakes up in a hospital. To his surprise, his body is recovered, including his left leg, which is now healed and intact, believing that his experience in the dungeon was just a dream. Inspectors from the Korean Hunters Association, Woo Jin-chul and Kang Tae-shik, visit him, and they reveal he has been unconscious for 3 days. Jin-chul tells him that he and his comrades only found him collapsed on the floor with no signs of the statues the other survivors depicted. He then interrogates Jinwoo if he perhaps received a second awakening, which could potentially elevate his class rank from E rank to A or even S rank. They prompt him to test his mana by placing his hand on a mana meter presented by Tae-shik. Excited to see the result, he asks the two men what rank he is now and if he has been reawakened. Jin-chul apologizes as they may have made a mistake upon seeing that the machine indicates his score as 10. Tae-shik notes as they leave that even E ranks typically get higher than 70. He is just a civilian. Confused and disappointed, Jinwoo ponders why that the officials did not ask about a message from the system. Jinwoo has a flashback of the events where he received the system and how his heart would have stopped if he did not accept the courage of the weak quest. Soon, Songjina, Jinwoo's sister, rushes in, overwhelmed with concern, urging him to be more cautious and expressing how anxious she has been about his well-being. She even goes as far as to threaten to quit school to work, allowing Jinwoo to retire from hunting. Amid her reprimands, Jinwoo reflects on his willingness to leave her behind during his self-sacrifice in the double dungeon. Feeling remorseful, he subtly tries to determine if she can see the system message floating before him. Once he realizes the message is visible only to him, he curiously asks how one might address unread notifications, comparing it to a video game. Gina, initially confused by his query, suggests checking his inbox before leaving to meet her friend, Han Song-yi, who awaits outside. Alone, Jinwoo delves into the cryptic messages from the system. The interface, bathed in a futuristic blue hue, displays 2 notifications, one stating the system's role in aiding player development, and another warning that failure to comply may result in a penalty. A further message declares that rewards have been delivered, leaving Jinwoo perplexed about their implications. He then discovers a daily quest titled Strength Training Has Arrived, which requires him to perform an arduous series of exercises: 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run, all tracked meticulously by the system. Feeling uncertain and suspecting it to be a figment of his imagination, he brushes off the quest and lays back down to rest and recover. Meanwhile, Jin-chul and Tae-shik are on their way back to the association in their vehicle. Jin-chul is on the phone with Go Gun-hee, reporting a potential error in the assessment of Jinwoo's supposed reawakening. Gun-hee remarks on their fortune in avoiding a dungeon break from the incident, but acknowledges the lingering mysteries it presents. Concluding the conversation, they agree to classify the incident as a special case within the association's database for further evaluation. At the Hunters Guild building, Choi Jong-in assigns Cha Hai-in to participate in the next B-rank raid. Hae-in, unconfident in her leadership skills, is assured by Yong-in that she has what it takes for the role. He clarifies, however, that the mission serves primarily as an assessment for the new recruits, suggesting that Hae-in's mere presence will be beneficial for their learning experience. Choi reflects on the guild's status, acknowledging that while they are among the top 5 in Korea, they lack the same level of power on an international stage. He emphasizes the need for collective effort within the guild to bridge this gap in strength. Elsewhere, civilians find their evening disrupted by the sudden emergence of a gate in the midst of a road. Annoyed by the inconvenience, they express their frustration about the delay, expecting hunters to have already arrived and taken care of the situation. In episode 4, this very gate becomes a dungeon break. Meanwhile, Jinwoo is sleeping in his room peacefully at the hospital, oblivious to the ticking clock of the daily quest he dismissed as a farce. He is jolted awake by the rumbling that he believes to be an earthquake before finding himself in a vast, sunless desert. A new message tells him to survive for the next 4 hours as he encounters an enormous centipede that begins to pursue him. While Jinwoo navigates this perilous environment, 2 nurses in his hospital room discover his absence and initiate a search. For grueling 4 hours in the desert, Jinwoo barely survives his chase from the centipedes and is found exhausted by the nurses at the hospital. The next day, Jinwoo sports himself in a tracksuit as he informs his sister that he will be heading out. Lee Joo-hee, who is still greatly affected by the experience in the double dungeon, receives a phone call asking her to participate in a raid, knowing what she has gone through, which is something that she naturally declines. She is also told that Jinwoo has woken up, leading her to head to the hospital, where she finds him jogging outside as 2 nurses watch. Jinwoo sits down as he completes more of his quests and begins to understand the functions and rewards he receives. Back inside his room, Jinwoo this time receives a special reward that grants him a key that leads him to the Hapjeong subway station, for instance, dungeon. A news reporter presenting today's Gate report announces that the Hunters Guild will be handling the dungeon that emerged on the road. Meanwhile, Jinwoo is seen visiting his comatose mother, Park Kyung-hee, triggering memories of when he first found out she had fallen victim to the eternal sleep disease. Jinwoo continues his workout routines in the following days his past. His early days working in construction and the moment he became awakened, including the time when was qualified to become a hunter to earn money to support her pay the bill for her hospital bills. He recalls a time when he was rescued and then chastised by fellow hunters, who would tell him to stay in a corner while they cleared the dungeon, dismissing his right to a share of the rewards due to his lack of strength, for which he would sincerely apologize. With his new ability points, he devotes them all to strength. After gaining confidence and determination, Jinwoo decides the time has come to use the mysterious key he acquired. With a mix of anticipation and hesitation, he inserts the key into a door within the subway, which activates the dungeon's entrance. However, upon entering, he quickly realizes that there is no way back. He is now trapped in a dimension separate from the real world. As he explores the dungeon, which is an abandoned hallway, he soon confronts a couple of goblins. Frozen in fear and with no healer to rely on, Jinwoo faces the grim reality of his perilous situation. As he rests a bit, a steel-fanged Lycan emerges from behind. Jinwoo scrambles for a plan as the wolf approaches at an alarming speed. And that's the end of this episode. If you want to watch more anime explained videos, subscribe and follow our channel.